Today we're going to be talking about that hacker known as 4chan. And I actually realized there was a time when on the internet 4chan was considered to be the website. It's where the enlightened people went. It's like if you were a reasonable common man that likes to think for themselves, is above it all, is above the petty morality of the masses, is above the nonsense that's being polluting and poisoning our culture. You would go to 4chan, and 4chan was like this website that gatekept really well. It had the nefarious streak to it. It's where the criminalized, the criminal element posts their corpses. It's where the white supremacists are organizing the new Fourth Reich, right? Like, it was scary. It's where the hackers are. By the way, I actually realized this. Now, in 2026, it's where the weebs that do anime pedophilia, those are the worst things on the internet. And we need the United Kingdom, we need Canada, we need the governments to crack down on this Japanese madness, and they need to remove internet anonymity, and they need to destroy any type of encryption in order to finally get to these evil weebs. But when I grew up, it was a different type of moral panic, right? Like when I grew up, the internet wasn't dangerous because it can groom your child. No, the internet was dangerous because people could hack, and computers were expensive. Right? You can always make another child, but you couldn't buy another computer. And so in that universe, the concept that you can go on a website and someone could hack you was devastating, right? Like that's why the internet was dangerous. It's the scammers and the hackers. And even more than that, I remember that the pornography wasn't dangerous because it's addictive. Like, no. It's like porn websites have viruses. It's like, where did you get the virus? I went on a porn website. Well, there you have it, And it was also like the question. It's like, I got a virus. You downloaded porn. Okay? That used to be how I grew up. That was the mentality of the era, but luckily we progressed. We no longer care about hacking and scamming. In fact, recently, a couple of weeks ago, there was another leak, a data leak from a age verification company called Persona. And people's IDs and public information and all of that were released onto the internet. But the reality is no one gives a shit, It's like, well, at least no 16-year-old got to see a titty, right? That's good. That's progress. Anyway, we're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein. Business Insider. I mean, this is a prestigious publication. If you didn't know, let me see if I can show it on the screen right now. There we go. So, Business Insider. Holy shit! Why is it called Business Insider? Like, does it talk about businesses? It's like you need to be like Jeffrey Epstein because he had money. He had wealth. So, like, maybe it's like trying to emulate Mr. Epstein, Not the pedophilia accusations, but like how he managed to make so much cash. I mean, seriously, this is what my mama told me. Like, my mama, she had this thing, objective morality. Like, people likes to say that Christianity has objective morality. Incorrect. My mama has objective morality. And she was, what the fuck? Anyway, she basically said, and this is important, when you look at a human being, you need to understand that a human being has positive aspects and negative aspects. You need to look at the negative aspects as a warning and try to emulate the positive ones. So with Jeffrey Epstein, right, like the negative aspects, the pedophilia. Obviously, we put that aside. The positive aspects, how he managed to make cash. He was a business person. The social networking, the connections, right? Like, you can emulate this and use the pedophilia as a warning. Once you get to the place where Jeffrey Epstein was, you say no to children. See? Objective morality. There we go. Now, Business Insider is basically saying that a 4chan user posted about Jeffrey Epstein's death before anyone else. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, how could this have happened? He basically said, don't ask me how I know, but Epstein died an hour ago from hanging, cardiac arrest. Screen cap this. And because like this person managed to be before ABC News, there was the universe went into disharmony. Like, how can a random person know something before the authoritative sources? Right? Like, we know that truth comes not from God. No, it comes from ABC News. And so, like, if a random mortal knows about the news before ABC News, then it must be the work of Satan. So, I just want to point out how ridiculous this is, right? Like, even if I am to believe the story, the official narrative that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, as far as I understand, like, he didn't kill himself in secret, right? He didn't disappear off the face of the earth like Jeffy Garipi's wife, right? He didn't want to go in an adventure in the woods at 2 a.m., midnight. No, Jeffrey Epstein was in a maximum security prison. Turns out that in a maximum security prison, there are people working there, right? We can call them witnesses, like people who know this shit, right? When a person dies in a maximum security prison, well, the guards know, the warden knows, the doctor knows. And if we're to assume that this was a post done by 45 minutes before ABC News found out, well, it means that whomever carried the message to ABC News also knows, the authority knows, the people at ABC as well, they know, right? And so, because 4chan is an anonymous website, any one of these people could have gone like 45 minutes before and posted this. Like, this is not even a mystery. It's not even like, okay, right? Imagine you're working at ABC News and all of a sudden you hear, hey, well, Epstein died, and you're like, holy shit, right? And you go on your laptop and you go 4chan, hey guys, don't call, right? Like, not to mention, like, a lot of people in the news, they do go on social media because, like, they don't do actual reporting. Like, no journalist moves his ass in the real world in 2026. And also, the FBI probably runs 4chan. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. They call it a honey pot, right? Like, it's the honey pot. So, like, if the FBI knew, like, obviously, they would put it in the honey pot. Not the FBI, sorry, the government, right? But here's the interesting part. I like how Business Insider tries to gatekeep 4chan, right? Like, they're trying to prevent you from going there because it is a website famous for pornography. This is what 4chan is famous for. Pornography, according to Business Insider. So I understand that at Business Insider, whenever they want to jerk off, right? Because they're men. Like, I assume they're human beings, right? Like, human beings, they do masturbate. Like, it's a thing. Like, people do that. We're one of the mammals that do. Other mammals don't. Like, for example, dogs. Dogs can't do it because they can't reach it. But, like, right? Like, human beings, the act of masturbation is actually specific to humanity because we can reach it. Other animals can't, right? But anyway, right? When someone at Business Insider wants to masturbate, he's like, I'm going to go on 4chan, the website famous for masturbation. A little bit disingenuous, isn't it, right? A little bit disingenuous. Just a tiny little bit. And especially, you know, in an era where the internet, like, literally... I noticed, like, there's this, like, sanitization of history. Like, people are pretending that the internet used to be this really nice academic place back in the day. You know, everything was PG-13 on the internet. Everything was nice. All the websites were running, basically, all the front websites were something that you could show to your mother. There were no scams. There was no hacking. There was, like... No, there was pornography everywhere, right? Like, I remember specifically, not that long ago, in 2020, actually, yeah, like in 2020, if you Googled Overwatch, the first thing that you would see were Farah's tits. Like, seriously, like the search results, right? Like, there wasn't, like, a safe search function like it's now. No, like, you would Google Overwatch, and you would see Overwatch porn. How do I know this? Well, because Blizzard decided to sue the pornography websites. They filed the MCAs. Because they were livid. Like, you would look for their game, and their game was less popular than the actual porn of it. The only character that was safe was that Russian chick with, like the dyke haircut. Like, that one was safe. No one knew her name. No one knew what she did. They're like... Anyway, it's disingenuous to say that 4chan is renewed for pornography when it was doing literally the same as everyone else. Like, 4chan was just the website that was like, yeah, we're not censoring. We're not censoring. Now, it is true, like, it was renowned for white nationalism. That is correct. But again, because they weren't censoring, it's not like 4chan created white nationalism. It's that nationalism got banned from everywhere else, and so, like, that's where everyone else went to, right? Yeah. In reality, I will tell you what 4chan is actually famous for. Every single time there's a terrorist attack in the UK, right? Like, let's say you have a person that doesn't know how to drive, and they manage to drive a lorry into a group of people while shouting Allah Akbar. The British media is utterly confused by this. Like, they're dumbfounded. It's like, they don't know, like, what was the motivation? Why did he do it? They would even go to Tommy Robinson. It's like, why are you saying he was a Muslim? How do you know? Right? So, like, the British media is extremely confused. Extremely confused. Like, they don't know. We need to wait. The official statements. We can't speculate. And then you go on 4chan, and like seconds after the attack, like literally on the fucking clock, they pull up his entire social media history. They find out his real name. They find out where he comes from. They find out if he has a pet or not. They find out what he ate this morning, right? And so that's what 4chan is actually renowned for. That's why, like, people know, like, whenever there's a terrorist attack, the first place to get your genuine news from, yeah, it is 4chan. Unironically. And I'm pretty sure, like, the journalists get their news from 4chan as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case. Yeah, British media is very similar to Short Fat Otaku, right? They just don't know. They're like, oh, the guy was shouting Allah Akbar. But, like, what if he's a Christian and he's trying to frame a Muslim, huh? What if it's that? What if it's a white nationalist trying to frame someone? I mean, he looked white, so why can we assume he was a Muslim? How do you know? Did the police say anything? No, they didn't. So, like... Tomas! Tomas! Thank you for the 10 Polish zloty. By the way, Tomas, I want you to control your people. I'm not kidding. I was upset by a Polish person today. Okay? I was on social media, and I posted a little meme, and a Polish person, one of your people, right? Not one of mine. Not one of mine. If it was one of mine, I wouldn't be upset. It was one of your people, and he called me a Russian asset, right? He called me a Russian bot. Like, I'm not a Chinese bot. No, I'm a Russian bot. So I want to show you what I posted first. And then I want you to control your people. Okay? This was the meme. It was the meme that I posted. The elections in the Chinese Communist Party. Look how nice he is, huh? Like, the face of a leader. He's in control. He's looking towards the future. He has passed the century of humiliation. Oh my goodness. AJ is probably floored right now. It's like, holy shit, V knows Asian politics? V knows about the No fucking way. The Gaijin knows. Shut it down. But no, like, you have Chairman Z here, right? He's passed the century of humiliation and he's looking towards the future. He's seeing a bright future ahead. But the CCP elections. Only candidate, right? Never even ran in any elections. Appointed by politicians. Not a single citizen voted for him. Rubber stamped by a puppet parliament. His whole government is compromised of unelected and corrupt cronies. And then you have the EU elections. The same, but they gaslight everyone that is democratic. Now, Polish person attacks me, says that I'm a Russian shill for saying this. Say, well, hold on a little bit. Like, where is... If I was a Russian shill, like, wouldn't you be baffled about how intelligent the Russians are? Like they actually managed to see things that, like, no one in Europe can see? You know, like they are the modern philosophers, I suppose. Like they must be making some of the world's most intelligent philosophers in Moscow in 2026. What the fuck is Europe doing? Where's our philosophers? Like the Polish people are like, oh my goodness, oh the Russian bots. It's like, well, I mean, if you see something like this, you know, you see the best steak ever, and you're thinking Russian bots, like my brother in Christ. But here's the thing, though. When they found out that I'm Romanian, they're like, oh, well, an NPC is actually worse than a Russian bot. And then they tried to explain to me, it's like, the EU Parliament is elected. And I'm like, okay, so this is how easy it is to bamboozle people in Poland? Like, this is the level of education in Poland? So basically, if you have a government institution that can't make laws, they literally cannot. They cannot make laws. They cannot repeal laws. But you call it the parliament, then they generally believe that that's democratic? Wow. That's all it takes? So like the name is all that matters. That's what the institution actually does, right? And you don't mind that the EU Commission is not elected. You don't mind that Ursula von der Leyen is not elected. No, like none of that matters, right? Just put a good name on it. Just put a good label. Like the marketing. The marketing is all that matters. So like, if in the CCP, they are to import the EU system, right? And they were to have like another body that's called, I don't know, the Chinese parliament, where they can't make legislation, they can't repeal legislation, and it's like probably like 600 people or so, no, sorry, like 6,000 people or so, whatever the fuck. And they're mostly like ceremonial, but they're called the parliament, right? Then all of a sudden, the CCP becomes a democracy? Like, is this how it works? Wow. Wow. Tomas says, always afraid that I give 500,000 to Russia. We wouldn't achieve anything without the EU. 40% of the polls. But you already achieved it, right? Like, if you already did the grift, just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out and start like the Eastern European Empire, right? I would fucking advocate for Romania to join, right? Like, once Ukraine finishes the conflict against Russia, get Ukraine, get Romania, get Hungary. Maybe you can get Bulgaria. I don't know. We can negotiate on that. And then start like the actual Eastern European common sense empire. Okay? Like, just start that. You know, like the V4, the Visegrad Alliance, plus Ukraine, plus Bulgaria maybe, right? And Poland, like all together strong. And that would actually be like, yeah, we can do it better, I think. I definitely think we can do it better than Germany. Anyway. Do you select the candidates who run for your political parties in the EU and the US? Or are they selected for you by politicians already in the government? No, they actually can run for elections. But again, like they go... Let me explain to you why the parliament is a sham. Okay? The average wage in Romania, I think the minimum wage in Romania is around 1,000 euros or so. Right? Most people are lucky if they find a job nowadays, because like the job market is pretty fucking bad. But like, let's say that a good Romanian makes like 2,000 euros per month. Okay? Now, imagine that you actually manage to go to the EU. They take you to a parliament in Brussels, like you don't work in Romania anymore. Now you move to Brussels, and you make 10,000 euros there. After 2 years, do you think like you understand the Romanian struggle anymore? Like, do you honestly think that you get what the average Romanian experiences? They're literally placed in a gilded cage. They are literally taken to the empire's capital and showered with wealth and luxuries beyond any imagining. And they get to complain about environmentalism, air conditioning, and how to fuck with the farmers. Is that democracy? Does that look like democracy? That doesn't look like democracy to me. It looks like buying off politicians. That's what it looks like. It looks like buying them off. And they don't even have a lot of legislative power. Okay? Of course I'm jelly. Like, obviously, you know, like, if I was to get elected, I would shill the EU nonstop. Like, if I managed to get elected, I'm not even kidding, chat. Like, I'm telling you what I would be doing. I would be telling you how amazing the European Union is. It's how it's the best thing that happened to Europe since the founding of Europe. I would encourage every single person to be vigilant against Moscow and against Putin's tomfoolery. And I would encourage people to vote for the start of a European army. No, I'm not kidding. Like, if I was to be elected, sure, right? Like, people have various incentives based on things that happen in their life. So far, I haven't been elected in the EU, so, like, my incentive is to be against the EU because it's actually trying to regulate my air conditioning, my car, and every single piece of legislation that's coming from it either raises my taxes or lowers my standard of living. Now, if I was to actually be in the EU, well, then the EU would be the best thing that happened to me and my family, and so, of course, I would shill for it. I don't even have to be in the EU. If I was to start an NGO, right? If the EU paid me to start an NGO, and yes, they do that sometimes. They pay people to start non-government organizations. Then, yeah, same. I would shill for it. Russian bot would not be late every stream. I don't know. Maybe it's lagging. Have you thought about that? What if the Russian bot is lagging? Another Polish people. How many Poles do I have? Can I start an army of Poles? Do you guys do Hussar? Huh? Like, do you still, like, do the whole horses with the wings and shit? AJ, do you know what a Hussar is? No, you don't. Because you're from China. China doesn't have Hussars. Hold on, let me show a Hussar to the South Korea. Right? Let me show to the South Korean what you guys never fucking had. Look at this shit. Hold on. This is the peak of civilization right here. Right here, huh? AJ, have you ever seen something like this shit? Have you seen the guy Jin do this? Do you know what's cool? Apparently, when they were charging, I actually didn't know this. Like, I thought that it's just like cringy and shit. Like they're trying to copy the Indians and they're like one step away from wowing. No. Listen. It actually had military applications. When they were charging, apparently the wings were making like a type of sound, and it spooked the enemy horses. Right? This is ingenuity, AJ. This is civilization. I'm still upset about it. He said that if I move to Japan, see, like, this is the thing, AJ. I don't want to move to Japan. But, like, he said that if I move to Japan, then he would do everything possible for me to leave. And now he's motivating me. Now it's on. You don't do this to the white man, AJ. You don't tell the white man what he can and can't do. You know? Last time people pissed us off, we split the atom. And bad things happened, not once but twice. Alright? Like I just need to tell you that. I need to inform you, AJ. I need to inform you. Telling the white man he can't go to Japan. What the fuck is wrong with him? The Dashing Rogue, thank you for $4.99. We need to protect Europe from the orcs, but hiring adventuring mercs is not the wise way of doing it. Poles also have totem poles. No! See, what is it with, like, who told him this in South Korea? Was there like an American that actually traveled there and became an English teacher? And told him it's like Poles also have totem poles? Totem poles are with the Indians, AJ. The wah, the feather, not. They are the ones with the totem poles. With the spirits and shit. The poles are with Jesus. The poles are with Christ. They don't do the whole shit with... Someone educate the South Korea. What the fuck is he doing? Like, he doesn't do anything. Just listen to him. Like, totems. In Poland. In fucking Poland. We're like one of the most Catholic... Well, actually not the most Catholic nation. The most Catholic nation was Spain. Because they were traumatized by the Muslims. Right? They had the issues with the Moors. The Moors entered the Schengen area. And then it took the Reconquista. That's how they call it. The Reconquista. And they drove the Muslims back. Apparently the Muslims created some problems over there. Like there were sieges in Spain where they took the heads of the knights and they made a pyramid out of it so high that a man on a horseback couldn't see past, right? And so the Spanish didn't really appreciate that. and they had the Reconquista, and so like they were like the most Catholic nation in Europe. A lot of extremism comes from Spain. Turns out when you go way too hard to Jesus, when you're way too close to Jesus, your children start hating the living shit out of you, and they go way too hard to communism. And so Spain and France, like, they oscillate very hard. Usually either communism or Catholicism, right? Because when you go too close to Lenin, your children hate you and they want to go back to Jesus. Now, when you look at Eastern Europe, Poland is Catholic, but Poland is a little bit more based, more chill, because it's closer to the actual true religion of Christ, AJ. Orthodoxy. The Orthodox do not oscillate. Like, we do not go from communism to fascism every single week. When we go hard, but like very rarely. And so like we have influenced the Poles to be a little bit more reasonable, unlike Spain, right? But still, they're Christian, AJ. They don't have totem poles. Poles had culture before Catholicism? No, they didn't. No, Poles started when Jesus came. I'm sorry, but this is fake news. No. The Caliphate had help from the inside. Spain didn't go communist, though. Have you lost the little bit of history, the trivia with their little civil war? Half of Spain was communist. You didn't know. Why are people just dumping their fake information on my fucking table? So Spain never went communism, and they had the civil war with what? What were they fighting over? Who was that? Huh? KV, the Dutch tax on unrealized gain is not going to happen. That was like one of the most mental taxes that. Okay, so like let me explain to you the tax on unrealized gain. I don't even know who came up with this. Like, this is one of the few times when even the left, like even communists that don't understand anything about the economy, looked at that tax and said, what the fuck is that? You know, like, if you're going to seize the wealth, then seize the wealth. But like, what is with the tax on unrealized gains? It's like, again, the idea is like this. You invest $1,000 into stonks. Okay? So like you buy $1,000 of Ubisoft shares. And Ubisoft decides to make a video game with a lady that has big ass and fat titties. And all of a sudden, Ubisoft stock goes way up. Right? You're not selling your shares. You're keeping them, right? But now you have to pay taxes for money that you didn't make. Because the share value went up, but you didn't sell. And so you need to pay to the government taxes. Right? Like, does it make sense? No. What will happen, though? Like, if you bought $1,000 shares, and now, let's say the shares have gone up, and now, theoretically, if you were to sell all of them, you'd have $1,500. Well, now you need to pay tax on $500. So it basically forces people to sell. That's what happens. Like, it forces people to sell. People panic sell. Prices go down. You're fucking with the economy. You're not even fucking with, like, some farmer, right? Because I understand, like, fuck the people that make our food, which is the European tradition now. But no, like, you're fucking with the very concept of the economy. Like, public traded companies would be a liability. Like you would be in a company, right? No, seriously, like, think about this. You're owning a Dutch company, right? The Dutch India Trading Company, or whatever the fuck. And you're successful, like, you're doing everything good. Prices go up, like, shares go up. And all of a sudden, people start panic selling, your shares plummet. Right? Like, the Dutch government, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't know whatever the fuck they were thinking. Like, never in the history of Europe, even when the Catholic Church decided to fuck with the economy and cause famines by instituting the fair price, even that wasn't as mentally retarded as what the Dutch were trying to do. It's just... No, it's not even a covert campaign against usury because you can still loan money from the banks. You can still, well, actually, no. I guess like it's a monopoly for the state to have usury, because like you can still buy bonds from the state, right? But no, like hold on, no, you can't even do that because if you buy bonds from the state, it's the same shit. Like you still have unrealized gains. I don't know, man. Like it's just like this is bad as death tax, where the U.S. government wanted family pay taxes on value of a stuffed bald eagle that they're not legally allowed to sell, but could keep because it made before the law. I didn't know like they taxed those, but I mean no, like that kind of makes sense, right? Because like I saw this at that TV show they have with the antique store. And they have like this antique store and various people like bring items, and sometimes they bring illegal items. And one person brought an illegal item. It was a guitar made out of the shell of a turtle, right? Now, the reason it's illegal is because there was a law passed to protect turtles. And so owning that guitar, if it's actually made before the law was passed, because like that's the thing, like laws cannot pass retroactively in civilized nations, right? If you have a civilized country, you can't make a law to punish someone for something they did before the law was made. It's inhumane, it's unjust, and it's cruel, right? Like you want a society of law-abiding people, and people abide the laws if they know what the law is. The only exception is the Nuremberg trial, right? But like moving past that, you usually do not make laws to criminalize stuff that happened before. And so, if you pass a law to protect a turtle, right? Now, there were people that made guitars before the law was passed, in which case, they get to keep their guitars. It's illogical to make people to destroy something when the purpose of the law is to protect the animal. Like, the animal already died, right? And so, like, okay. But I didn't know, like, they taxed them. Like, I thought that, okay, in theory, you can sell them, right? In theory, you can sell these guitars. But the problem is, like, whomever is buying it is also buying the risk. Because when you're buying a guitar that is made out of an animal shell, and you don't know for sure when it was made, like, was it made before the law or after the law? If it's made after the law, you can go to prison for 5 years. And so, like, in theory, you can sell them. In reality, no one is willing to buy one. So, Jesus is our King from 1996. See, there we go. There are many of us. Pikes of the Hussars were also hollowed out to outpike the pikemen. Zibugiem, yes. Thank you for the 25 Polish zloty. The Polish people are making me rich today. I don't know why, but I have strong gold, apparently. Eastern Europe represent. It's easier to destroy it. No one wants to destroy it. Like, the thing is, like, if you own an object that's questionably... Like, here's the thing, right? Nobody is going to go into someone's house and to find out that they have, like, a guitar with a turtle shell. Like, it's fucking retarded, right? Alternatively, no one is stupid enough to make such a guitar nowadays because no one wants to go to prison for 5 years. And so chances are that, yes, like most of the guitars that circulate, which are made out of the shells of turtles, are legitimate guitars that are pretty old. The problem is that no one wants to buy them because when you start a transaction, like you put it on Craigslist, okay, then the cops can come, right? Because like there are government organizations that literally have nothing to do but to spy the internet in order to find exactly these types of activities. And they justify their paycheck by, you know, making certain arrests and getting convictions and then bragging about it. And so, in this situation, if you have a guitar like that and you keep it in your house, you don't have to destroy it. Like, the cops are not going to come into your house to check for the guitar. But if you put it on Craigslist, if you try to sell it, if you make a commercial transaction, if it appears on someone's credit card, then you expose yourself to risk. And the buyer exposes themselves to risk. The only way you would do it is, like, if you have, like, genuine receipt. And even then, right, like, you can still end up with the cops confiscating it, and then you have to show the receipt, and then they have to authenticate it and see if it's not a forgery. So like most people just don't fucking bother, right? And these priceless artifacts, they don't sell for that high either, specifically because of this issue. And it's the same with the bald eagle, right? Like if you have anything with the bald eagle, if it doesn't matter if it's a feather that you found, that like literally anything with the bald eagle attracts the ire of the government. The stock markets keep the boomers happy. Well, it's kind of funny because like Donald Trump basically said that he could fix the housing prices. And to be honest, like yes, the government could literally fix the housing prices if it wanted. But Trump basically said, well, there's a lot of boomers that invested in housing. And if they fuck the prices for the boomers, it's not fair for them. And so young Americans have to suffer because the old people have their retirement money. Right? So Dios, thank you for the shout out for people to click the like on the stream. Dutch government already paid Romania for the stolen relics. No, listen. Okay, so let me no. Let me show this. This one was a colossal failure, not because of the Dutch government, but also because of the Romanian government, right? So before the Roman Empire, which is the benchmark of civilization, AJ, right? Did you have a Roman Empire there? No, of course you didn't. This is why I don't respect the Gaijin. But the Roman Empire, right? The cradle of human civilization. Before that one, there were other civilizations. Where we live, in Romania, there were the Dacians. And the idea of showing this, right, is to show that more than 2,000 years ago, the Dacians had the ability of understanding metallurgy, of smelting, right? So like they had an entire culture. Now, the Romans conquered them, and now thousands of years later we find artifacts that predate Roman time. Okay? These are priceless artifacts. They cannot have a price on them because while you can make another $1 billion, you can never make an artifact that shows that 2,000 years ago, here, there was a culture. And that culture had the ability to smelt metals. The Africans didn't know how to smelt metals, for example. Right? I mean, at the time. And now they do. Now they know. But back then, at the time, they didn't. Many people, 300 years before the Lord, had no idea how to smelt metal. And so it's important to show, like, well, here, in this part of land, there was. By the way, I say that the Roman Empire was the benchmark for civilization. I will also name China and India. Okay, like these three civilizations, they happened in parallel, without actually interacting with each other. But it's actually, I'm actually curious. I would ask you guys to tell me something, but I'm afraid a lot of you will look it up. Do you know how old modern humans are? Like when was like some of the first instances of modern humans to walk the earth? Do you guys know how old our history is? Because when I looked it up, I was a little bit surprised. Like I thought that obviously like it predates the Roman Empire, but like when I saw by how much, I was a little bit taken aback. I'm actually curious if people can figure out like how many thousands of years is human history, right? Like when do we have like the first archaeological finds of human civilizations? Someone in the chat said 200,000 years old. Wrong. 300,000 years old. Like humanity is 300,000 years old. I was fucking baffled when I found out. Really? So like for 300,000 years, no one invented the wheel? Yes, it's actually true. No, it's 300,000. It's not 6,000. It's not 20,000. It's not 50,000. 300,000. Like, there are ancient cities that have archaeological finds showing 300,000. What the fuck? That can't be right. But it is. It is right. It took a lot of time for people to develop agriculture. Is it a false statement? Okay, fine. Let's check it out. I'm going to check it out, right? Yeah, fine. Maybe I how old are modern humans? Oh no, hold on. Let me phrase it differently. How old is human civilization? How far ago did modern humans walk the earth? So, like, basically, if I fucked one of them, I could have a child with them. That's what I'm trying to find out, right? So, like, not primitive human, like, not an ancestor that if you fuck, you can't produce an offspring. Like, how long ago modern humans, right? Like, if you find one, if you had a time machine, and you take a bitch from 300,000 years ago, and you have sex with her, can you produce an offspring? That's what I want to know. Okay? So while ChatGPT is thinking, we're going to go back to the chat because I clicked the extended thinking. If you're asking Homo sapiens, then yeah, much older than 20,000. Yeah, I'm literally asking, like, at which point did the first modern humans, like, if you find a female from 300,000 years ago, if you have sex with her, can you produce an offspring? If yes, then yeah, like, she classifies as a human. That's literally what I'm going for, right? I'm not asking civilization. I'm asking, like, when did the first modern humans walk the earth? Maybe I misspoke, right? But I'm basically, like, trying to predate, like, how not the cavemen, not the Neanderthals, but, like, our ancestors. Okay, look. So apparently, I wasn't wrong. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, have been walking for at least 300,000 years. The oldest widely accepted Homo sapien fossils are from Morocco, which are dated 315,000 years ago. Civilization depends on what you mean, but in the common cities, farming states, blah, 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 roughly 11,000. But, like, even then, right? Human beings have been walking the earth for 300,000 years, and only in the last 11,000 years did people started farming and permanent villages. Proto-cities such as Jericho was already a sizable settled place by 9th, 8th millennium BCE. True cities, early city-states such as the Uruk, southern Mesopotamia, is a classic early city-state with Uruk huge by 3,200 before Christ. Writing the big cheat code for bureaucracy, early cuneiforms shows up in the first city-state. Right. So, look, let's not pill-pull this whole shit. Ignore the definitions. The thing that I want people to understand is that for 300,000 years, humans walked the earth, and it's only 11,000 years ago that people started making city-states. That's fucking insane. Like, there's so much wasted opportunity. Humans are 300,000 years old, but we learned to write only 3,000 to 4,000. We may have actually learned to write before that. The thing is, when it comes to writing, it's not so simple, because, like, most people now, they think of writing, oh, okay, you get a paper, you get a pencil, and, okay. The paper is the problem. Like, creating paper, and especially like mass producing paper in a society without factories and industrialization, is extremely expensive. Like the first paper that I know of, like I'm pretty sure it goes beyond that, but papyrus, right? Like papyrus is actually incredibly old, and it only worked because like to farm the papyrus, you needed to be in Egypt. And then it's the ink, the dye, like the writing instruments, like all of that. And this is why like a lot of civilizations didn't have it. It's not necessarily like people couldn't learn how to write or read. It's that they didn't have like the tools to do it. In Europe, they used vellum. Like they literally used the skins of animals. And animals were very expensive back then. So a Bible, for example, was extremely expensive. Like a Bible was, someone did the math and tried to adjust it for inflation, and it was around like $600,000 to $1 million. Like it depends, like an illustrated manual or not. Like it was crucially expensive, right? So this is why like societies didn't really have reading and writing. It's not necessarily like they didn't come up with the idea. Because, like, we know that when certain societies that didn't have reading and writing, when encountering societies that did, they adapted very quickly. Like, the ability of human beings to understand, to read and write is not difficult. But like, they didn't have the resources to create. Yes, Acadians use stone tablets. But, like, even then, like, manufacturing the stone tablet is difficult. Because, right? Like, the stone tablet doesn't just happen to be in nature. Like, you need to have a group of people that actually mine the stone and then shape the stone into a tablet and then create the utensils in order to write it. And imagine how it's like to teach people how to write on tablets, right? Like, it's not like writing with a pen. Like, you literally have to go like, tick, 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 tick. And it's a skill, right? Like, it actually requires mastery. And it depends on the society you have, because, like, in most societies, if you take a person to write, you're taking him off the field. If you take a person off the field, you have less food, which means more people starve. So, like, you literally, like, in a medieval society, you cannot afford to take people off the fields for a prolonged amount of time. And so, you need empires, like, you need extremely wealthy societies with the technology at the time to just make writing happen. It's extremely expensive. Even if you go now, like, if you were to go now back in time, and I don't know, you're in a very ancient hunter-gathering society, and you know how to write, and you want to teach someone, but you don't have the tools. Like you don't have those tablets. You don't know how to go the tick 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 with the little iron so that you can, right? Like imagine sculpting modern letters on a tablet. That's why they had like cuneiform writing. If you were to go back in time and you were to, you know, like try to write without letters, with the Latin alphabet on a fucking tablet, you'd go insane. Like just, you know, like imagine writing this on a tablet. And if you make a mistake, you can't delete, you can't undo, like you have to start over, right? And the tablet is probably expensive because it requires a lot of labor. Again, it requires people to pull it from the ground. It requires someone to actually make it the correct square and the correct thickness so that it doesn't break when you chip it. So yeah, you would scratch it in the dirt, yes, but like what do you do then? Like scratching it in the dirt is not the same as scratching it into stone. Like scratching it into stone requires practice. Stone is expensive. Just so you can understand how poor medieval people were, boiling water was cripplingly expensive for a peasant. Just boiling water. Because like you need wood to boil the water. Wood is expensive. Someone has to chop the wood. They don't have like chainsaws. They literally have a guy with an axe, and he has to chop the wood. He then has to drag it to the village. He then has to chop it into smaller parts, right? And the wood is finite. It's the king's wood, so it's expensive, right? Like boiling water is expensive. For teaching purposes, yeah, but like you can't even if you teach someone how to do the letters in medieval times they use the beeswax tablets. Like, that's not the problem, right? You can take a piece of chalk and you can write it on the ground. Like, that's easy. But, like, the actual sculpting, the actual, like, going in and sculpting the letter into stone, that is the skill that is actually difficult to train. Not the letters themselves. India has only been existed around 3 times by the Mughals, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember saying that they are a benchmark of civilization. No, they managed to get Buddhism going. Am I wrong? I think like Buddha is from India. Where did Buddha originate from? Yeah, it's Nepal, near the Indian border. Yeah. Yeah, they managed to like they codified Buddhism. Like usually societies that create religions, they create significant cultural hallmarks. So wood was one of the few things that wasn't that expensive. What the fuck are you talking about? You think it wasn't expensive because it's easy to cut a tree, right? But what do you do when everybody needs wood, Einstein? Like literally every single peasant, every single person, that's the only energy that exists. Everybody needs wood. So like, yes, in theory, you know, if you're a guy that can go to the tree and chop the tree, sure, you know, it's cheap. But the reality is like when literally everybody needs wood. Every single person. Every single guy. That there is no such thing as central heating. Every single person needs wood for cooking. Every single person needs wood for heating, right? All of a sudden you realize that it's actually becoming quite a commodity. And if you're just a peasant with a farm, it is expensive. Yeah, no, like the supply, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of supply. And even then, right, it's not just like the wood, because like you go close to the village and you cut the tree and there you go. No. You have to take the wood from far away, because like the wood next to the villages have already been cut down, right? Like people have already went into the forest and chopped the wood. And so like they have to go places, they have to chop it down, and then they have to transport it. So like you have to pay for the mercenaries that guard the shipment of wood, right? Because like the merchants, they need to have like some soldiers, some men-at-arms in order to defend that. You need to pay the taxes, you need to pay for the wood itself, you need to pay for the woodcutter, and you also need to pay for your noble. So no, it's actually pretty expensive, right? So like they couldn't afford to just waste it. Anyway. Sounds like we are discussing the anime Ascendant of a Bookworm. I haven't seen the anime, but basically what I've noticed is that if you were to go into medieval time with all the knowledge that you have now, it wouldn't mean shit. You wouldn't be able to enact most of the things that we have now, even if you knew how. And there's many reasons for it, but the first one is simple. Not enough people. Like a nation that doesn't have enough people, or lack of communication. It doesn't matter if you have like 6 million people distributed about France. If the technology means that by the time the message comes from the castle to the furthest village, it takes 3 months, you can't organize anything. Like, and most of the reasons is that the roads are shit, right? So like if it rains, like literal parts of the nation just get cut off. It's not even the bandits. Although, like, there's animals and there's bandits and there's other things. But, like, literally a rain just makes so that entire parts of the nation get cut off. Like, just taxes stop coming, news stop coming. If someone raids the borders, the king doesn't even fucking know. You know, he finds out by the time the raid is gone. So, like, even if you go into that place with modern thinking and you're like, okay, you know what? Let's have an assembly line. Like why do you guys rely on craftsmen? Why don't you just, like, when you make a crossbow, have like one peasant make the exact same component over and over again, and then you assemble it, and voila. And if they were to do this, right, like if you actually teach them proto-industrial methods of production, like one peasant just makes the strings, another peasant just makes the trigger mechanism, another peasant makes this. At the end of the day, you're just going to shit out crossbows. Like, you can literally just make hundreds of crossbows. The guilds would riot. You'd be killed. The order of society made it like, no, you're threatening the guilds now. Right? So, like, even if you go with modern thinking and you're like, okay, this is how it works, they'll be like, no. No. A Yankee at King Arthur's court. Yeah, that's fictional. No. That is actually a very good isekai. I recommend it. Not every tree is good for cooking as well. Different trees used for different things. You have one for cooking, one for making charcoal, one for heating, and so on. See, AJ is smart. You can see, even though I'm being dismissive of him, and even though I'm attacking him recently, he is from Asia at the end of the day, and so he knows. He knows. Yes. You also lack a lot of knowledge they had back then as well. That is correct, though. Like, if you are to send a modern person into a medieval place, the modern person would suffer. Here's the interesting part. If you take, like, 20 medieval people and you drop them on an island, they would probably fare very well. If you take 20 modern people and you drop them on an island, they would probably starve to death. Oh yeah, I mean the smoke signal, right? So like the Indians, they actually had this very interesting way of communicating, which the Europeans were baffled by. Smoke signals, yes, like they sound primitive, but think about it. Like you live in the jungle, and instead of just sending a guy with a horse, you're using smoke signals, right? Like that's insane. Like that's revolutionary, actually. And the reason they had it is because they didn't have horses. Like that's why the Indians got fucked so much. They had no beasts of burden. They didn't have horses in America. They didn't have oxes. They didn't have the way to communicate with Asia, with Africa, with Europe. Like they were completely isolated. And the lack of horses like forced them to do inventive stuff. And the smoke signals are actually quite intelligent. I did grow up when we still used wood, fire stoves, and home heating and such. Ah. See, he's my brother from another mother. How dare he tell me I can't stay in Japan when we experience similar childhood? It depends how much authority you'd have in a society. If you just got dropped in there, you'd fare poorly. No, even if you're the king of something, like, the idea that the king can do everything, no. No, like, there are bad... Like, see, this is the thing. Like, what happens if the king wants something and the people just don't obey him? Or they sabotage him? Or they do malicious compliance? Right? Now, if some people do that, you can crack down on them. But, like, when most people do that, it's kind of like being a dungeon master, right? Like, the dungeon master has all the power until the people decide to walk away from the party. And then it's like, okay. Anyway, chat. I think that's about it. I think I should have talked more about Epstein, but the article, I found it funny. 4chan new. Yes. Speaking of conspiracies, do you know that they're making a new X-Files? I wonder how they can make X-Files without conspiracy theories, because it's 2026, you literally can't talk about them. Anyway, right, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.